be respectful of everybody's time. I'm going to go ahead and get started. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. I'm not going to be looking at the chat. Tish has graciously accepted the role of managing the chat for me so that I don't get distracted like a squirrel with a nut and end up talking about something completely different. I'm really grateful that everybody was able to join today. This is our celebration / kickoff party / initial introduction of our member portal as Heroes Veritas. This is something that we've been working on for quite some time as a team, and we're really excited to bring this to our community in 2023. I'm going to get into what Heroes is, how we got started, introduce the team and myself. Then we're going to go ahead and get into what Heroes Veritas is planning to do, kind of our future state, our core values, our mission statement. From there, we're going to go ahead and dive into the portal and actually show you a live experience of the features and how we interact as a team and how we interact as a community. From there, that'll roll us right into our guest speaker, Erin Montoya, Confidence and Self-Respect Coach for Women. She has a great presentation ready for all of you, and so we'll give her the floor at that time. Following Erin's presentation, we'll go ahead and start closing off the hour. We'll go ahead and do our giveaways. We'll take any questions that you have at that time, and we'll make sure that we get those answered by one of the people in our team during that time. If you stay on, you have the opportunity to win those prizes. We'll be asking for feedback, and based on that feedback will allow us to do those giveaways. If you have to drop for any reason, this will be recorded, so we will be making this available publicly that people can watch, but you will not be able to get the prizes if you drop early. So just keep that in mind as well. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce the team and myself. My name is Tim Bass. I've been a coach for close to a decade now. I've helped in personal training. I've helped in confidence, self-respect. I've helped in business. And I've taken all of that knowledge and built Heroes Veritas to be something of a North Star for society and community at large. We've just seen a lot of negativity and toxicity in social media and in communities up to this point. And we just felt that there was a better way to do it. And so talking with my team, working with my team, and bringing something to market that we felt aligned better with our core values. It was kind of the whole point of Heroes Veritas. And our ultimate goal and aim is to help people live personally sovereign lives. And so I bring all of my knowledge to that task. Deborah, Gavin, Tish, and Matt also bring that to the task as well. And so Erin is also a member in our community, and so you have access to her should you join as well. So as you can tell, a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience within our system. And Matt Brunk is my VP of Operations, and I'm going to go ahead and have him unmute just to say, hey, for some reason, it won't let me unmute you. So sorry, just wave at the camera. And when I say your name, for whatever reason, it won't let me unmute anybody. So thanks, technology. So Matt Brunk's my VP of Operations. We met actually at one of my coaching events, and we just hit it off immediately. From that point forward, we've just been kind of lockstep towards this new future that we're trying to build. And I'm really grateful to have him on the team. Tish Horn, she's our VP of Finance. She is also an absolute powerhouse of a person. She runs her own gym. She's an internationally accomplished power lifter, and she's one of my best friends. She's my sage. I go to her for almost all my counsel, and so she's on the team as well. We also have Deborah Council. She is our Director of Community. So she is our kind of maternal instinct guiding pathway in our system. And so, as you can tell, Matt and I are pretty masculine individuals. We have a tendency to be a little bit more chest beating, red-blooded. And so Deborah and Tish tend to have the ability to kind of calm us down and keep us on the right path. And then we have Gavin McCourt, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there. A licensed dietitian and certified personal trainer. He is our director of fitness. He is an absolute madman when it comes to intelligence around biology, the human body, supplements, fitness programming. He's actually programming me right now, moving into June. So I can attest to his knowledge and his capacity to guide us. And then Erin Montoya, she's our guest speaker today. She's our confidence coach through Beacon Confidence, not our confidence coach. She is a confidence coach who happens to be in our member portal through Beacon Confidence Coaching. I believe her focus is primarily women, but I can attest to her capacity to help anybody, really. She's just a social butterfly, and she's a great wealth of knowledge as well. So that's the team. That's who we are going to be hearing from today is Aaron and myself. I'll do most of the talking as the host, but as they need to chime in, just raise your guys' hand and I'll pull you into the conversation. Again, today is not just an opportunity for us to introduce you to Heroes, but this is also a very big celebration for us. The reality is that bringing something like a community online as we have was no small task. And my team can attest to the fact that I have been kind of a slave driver in that regard and asked many things of them. And those expectations have changed quite a bit over the course of us trying to bring that to market and bring that to our community. And so because of that, it's an opportunity for me to just say my gratitude to my team for putting up with me, asking for deliverables and demanding those expectations be met. And they have done so above and beyond, and they have really hit it out of the park. And because of that, we're able to demo this community portal to you and have it available to the public today. And so thank you to my team. Cheers to you all. Again, I really did push, I think in September. Yes, thank you, Tish. Cheers to you all. I'm drinking bourbon because I am extremely excited for this. And the reality is that none of this could be possible without my team. And actually, Tish was the one that really hammered that home for me to go and seek a team, because she and Matt both saw the value in what we're bringing to market, but we knew we couldn't do it alone. And so without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. And I'm so very excited and grateful that you've been on this journey with us. And I'm really excited for where we're headed, because this is just the first of many, many steps towards our ranch, which I'll get into in a moment, so that we can help people really live personally sovereign lives and get out of their own way and really step up and be the people that they know that they could be. So thank you all so much for your diligence and your efforts up to this point. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, get into the what is Heroes Veritas. I hope everybody can see this. Can everybody see this? Why can I not see anybody else? So I apologize. So go ahead and skip this. All right. Dun, dun, dun. My apologies, some technical issues here. It is not letting me see anything, so my apologies. Tish, can you do me a favor and just let me know if you can hear me in the chat? I just have no ability to know if you guys can hear me or not. Did I lose you? I'll go ahead and stop sharing because I have no idea if you guys can see or hear anything I'm saying. All right, now I can see your faces, you beautifully shining faces, and I got thumbs up from Gavin, so that's great. So I apologize for that. I don't know what happened there. Good old tech. So now that I know that you can see the screen and then you can hear me, I'm going to go ahead and go over our mission. Heroes Veritas has a very specific mission, and everything we do is aligned to that mission, and that's to unify towards a brighter future. Honor the integrity of the past and foster a culture of honor, courage, and responsibility. We came up with this mission as a team because in reality, we felt that we as a society have started to denigrate the past a little bit. And that goes not just nationally, that doesn't mean the world or globally, but actually internally. We tend to not give ourselves grace for past mistakes, past issues. And so we want to honor that integrity of that past, but we also want to look to that next level, that personal sovereignty, that brighter future, not only at the individual level, but at the company level. And we are firm believers in fostering culture of honor, courage, and responsibility, which we'll get into our core values here in a moment. And so we have tasked ourselves and continue to build this community around the idea that we can provide a North Star for people that may be either lost or feel like they're meant for more, and they haven't been able to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, or maybe they're struggling. Maybe they're doing all right and they just know that there's something more out there. And so we developed this ecosystem in an effort to bring a community together of individuals that really do enjoy progressing themselves into the greatest level that they could possibly be. And in doing so, usher in the world globally into this idea that we can be better and we can do so on our own volition. So we are a for-profit organization, so we don't want to mince words here. We're not, a charity organization, though we do really love giving back and helping people. It's kind of our core support system. Every one of the people on my team are really fired up by helping people. We do leverage the for-profit model so that we can do more and add more to the world and to the ecosystem. And so we're trying to build a tribe of morally righteous individuals with skills not only in business, not only with family, but also with survival, the ability to take responsibility for our own safety. And by creating that ecosystem and that community, it allows us to usher each individual person into what they personally define as sovereignty. For us, sovereignty means needing nothing from no one, so that we don't have to worry about being held accountable to other people that we don't believe have the right to tell us what to do. And so each person has their own definition of that. We don't tell you how to live. We just give you the tools to figure out how to live the way you want to live. And that's really what Heroes Veritas is all about. So we do this so core values for us is very important. We believe that how you do something is just as important as doing it itself. And so we've aligned ourselves as a team to 4 major core values, and we try to keep it small so that we can memorize them. And so first and foremost, our core value is responsibility. We hold ourselves and others responsible. And what we mean by that is everything in your life comes from a place of responsibility. Now, you can avoid that responsibility, you can blame, but all that does is it pushes it further down the road. So we believe that first and foremost, before you can make any change, before you can step into personal sovereignty, you absolutely have to take responsibility for your life. You have to absolutely take responsibility for the outcomes. That also means that you can't put the blame on somebody else. And we do that from a leadership perspective as well, by leading by example. So nobody on my team is going to be blamed if something is a mishap, nor will they blame somebody else for if there's a mishap. We merely look at it from a logistics and logical perspective, and we make accordingly or adjustments accordingly. We operate with integrity in our daily lives. The number one issue that we see, and specifically me as a confidence coach, and I know Aaron can attest to this as well, that we see with a lack of confidence or a lack of self-respect comes from a place of lying to ourselves, lying to the people closest to us, because either we don't think that they would like it, or we're creating this facade. And so we made our second core value, integrity, on purpose. We believe that in order for you to take full responsibility, you have to tell the truth. You have to do things with the intention of being an honest individual. And so the first step to taking that responsibility is also being honest with yourself. Is that something you truly want? Is that something that you want to achieve? Does it matter to you? Is that a priority for you? Or are you just doing it because it's easier? Maybe you're trying to avoid shame. Maybe you're trying to avoid somebody's opinion of you or judgment. Integrity is absolutely critical in our business model, and hence why it's it is our second pillar. Courage. This one is something that I hold very near and dear to my heart, because this is one of the areas that I find it is one of the most lacking areas in today's society. And that's the courage to be wrong. That's the courage to disagree. That's the courage to stand on your principles. So we are courageous in our actions and our decisions. And so in order to make a change, it's going to take courage. You're going to put pressure on your existing paradigms. You're going to put pressure on your existing level. You're going to put pressure on your existing relationships. If it's something that you are taking responsibility for and you are being honest with yourself that you absolutely need it, it's going to take courage to stand on that and say, this is what I want, and this is the life that I want to lead. And so courage is a difficult thing to articulate to a lot of people, but it's something we all feel. And it's something that has to be exercised like a muscle. If we don't exercise our courage, then over time it breaks down and we're more likely to be walked all over. We're more likely to just go with the flow, and we end up compromising our own integrity because we go against our own principles. And honor. In order to receive honor, we must exemplify honor. Now, honor is one of those words that in today's society gets kind of a bad rap. A lot of people don't understand what it means. Honor is a standard of conduct. And so for us, the first three create our honor system. And so we believe that in order for you to thrive in any ecosystem, in any community, you have to understand the standard of conduct. And so for Heroes Veritas, our standard of conduct, I apologize, is responsibility, integrity, and courage. And if we align ourselves to that, then we can honor each other in this way. The minute we compromise on these pillars, the minute we compromise on those first three, we will lose our honor, and in turn may end up losing relationships, may lose opportunities, may lose the community. And so it's something that you have to instill in yourself to actually care about. And one of the things that I would add here is that everybody's system of honor is different. And so for us, as I said, the first three kind of pour into the last. That's our system of honor. And there's some other areas within our community that it becomes very articulated and present when we start having discussions, when we start having disagreements. In order to honor the people that are in that community, we have to treat them with respect. And so you can't dishonor people in a disagreement just because you want to be right or just because you want to win. And so honor is really going to shine in our virtual community more than anything, because it's going to be about how do you honor each other? How do you help each other get to that next level? How do you help each other get to, a new frame of mind or a new perspective, or just learn something new? And so you're going to really want to honor each other in that space. So today's kickoff party is really around the Sovereign's Table Online. We call this the Members Portal. So the Members Portal is an online social media network, if you will, with a number of features and mobile app that allows our community, our specific community who align with our core values, who align with our vision of the future and wanting to be personally sovereign, to connect, engage, and help each other get to that next level. We truly believe that in order for us to grow, we have to have a tight-knit community that we respect, that we can take constructive criticism from, and we can learn from. And in doing so, we can actually learn about ourselves, we can actually teach somebody else, or we can learn from. And so we do this in a number of ways. Obviously, our first and foremost priority is sovereignty. We believe everybody should be challenged to have personal sovereignty or freedom to make decisions that are best for themselves and their family, regardless of shame or judgment or anything of that nature. Fellowship, as I mentioned, when Matt and I met, it was through my own event, and now he is my VP of operations. When I met Tish, she was a personal training client of mine, and now she's my VP of finance. And so fellowship is around the idea that one conversation can change the entire trajectory of your life. You can have a thought process that you're going to be heading one direction, and then somebody's going to enter your life and say, well, have you thought about this? And challenge you to grow and challenge you to step into a new version of yourself that may be more fulfilling for you. And so we really leverage that fellowship within our online community in order to help our members grow. And then tactics. We are huge on tactics. Now, the difference between a tactical approach or strategic approach versus a theoretical approach, which we see a lot in the public sphere of social media, is there's a lot of talking about how you should be. There's not a lot of talk about how you should be, meaning how do you get there? What are the steps you take? What are the pieces that I'm missing? What are the nuggets of information that could really set me apart from somebody else? Inside the portal, which we'll get into later, you're going to see how we apply tactics. You're going to have step-by-step tips within various articles and or courses. Our weekly calls, we get into how to actually implement these into your life. And to give an example, one thing that I hear a lot of is that's all well and good, but I have kids, or I have a job, or I have this. And so we circumvent those kind of discussion points by saying, if you have these things and you have these hurdles, this is how I've solved them. This is how somebody in the community solved them. Yes, it's a hurdle. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, there are reasons why maybe you're not going to be that successful in that space. We do our best to circumvent those either in our coaching or in our weekly calls, but also the community is going to give those tactics as well, because you're not the only person that has sought to grow out of where you're at. You're not the only person that maybe is a mom or a dad that wants to get in shape. You're not the only person that maybe has an existing day job and wants to build a business or feels a calling to go and do something different. And so by creating a fellowship and a community of people that truly have your best interest at heart, we're going to be able to give you those tactics to kind of step outside of that and grow into that which you want to be. And I just misplaced my notes, so I apologize. I get on my rolls and I just kind of continue. All right, so I'm a few minutes over going over this. I just want to touch on this real quick here. So and then we're going to go into, I'll start showing you how the app works. So the Heroes Parthenon is kind of our structure of prioritization on how we connect with each other and how we kind of label things in order to give the best and most concise direction. And so the Heroes Parthenon consists of five pillars. So there's faith. Faith is oftentimes misunderstood as religious, and so we actually just had our call yesterday on faith where we talked about this. Within Heroes Parthenon, faith is a much more personal journey of belief, of hope, of knowing that even though you don't know how you're going to achieve it, how do you get to a point where you're confident that you will achieve it? And so in faith, we do a lot of our spiritual work. We do a lot of our mindset work, mental health conversations happen in here. Like, how do you get out of seasonal depression, and how do you overcome self-doubt or imposter syndrome? Those are the kind of conversations that take place in faith. Absolutely, people can have religious conversations in there as long as they're respectful. We don't hinder that. We just ask that nobody uses that as a jumping off point to either conversion conversations or treating others badly because they have a separate or different belief system. That's not what that's for. Family pillar is not just your blood relatives. This is not just your kids and your husband and your wife. This is actually every relationship that you have. Everything from your best friend to your business partner. We give tips on how to communicate more effectively in here, how to develop deeper bonds in here. In fitness, pretty straightforward. This is our physical health. This is making sure we're healthy, making sure we're at a place where we can function. And if you want to lose weight, you want to gain weight, you want to build muscle, you want to get skinnier, whatever the case is, that's kind of Gavin's space. And I would note that family is really where Deborah shines as the director of community. In finance, it's not just money here, but it's also business. It's ideas for marketing, business, building a business, starting a business, scaling a business. That's what you're going to talk about in finance. And then fight, this is just survival in general. And this could be something as simple as evacuation plans in the event of an earthquake, or it can be weapons, it could be guns, it could be self-defense mechanisms, it could be preparedness of some kind, camping tips, lighting fires, things of that nature. The reality is that under responsibility, our safety is our responsibility. We are truly believers that nobody's coming to save you. And in order for you to make it through to the end of your life, you have to take responsibility. We talk about things like OODA loops in here, which is a special forces process system. We talk about self-awareness or awareness in here, making sure you have splatter vision. So fight is just kind of our catch-all for making sure that those that we love and ourselves are safe and able to live very long and fulfilling lives. All right, so as far as online delivery, trying to rush through this. There's a lot of content, and I appreciate your guys' patience while I figure this out. All right, so let's get into why we're all here, which is the portal. Before I move on, are there any questions right now that I can answer? Throw them in the chat while I get this going. And then I'm going to dive into this, and then Aaron, just a heads up, about 5 minutes from now, I'll queue you up and you can take over and add to the guest speaker side. All right, I'm not seeing any questions. All right, let's get into the portal. So this is our landing page. Looks like everybody can see this. So this is our landing page. So if you don't have a login yet, you can go ahead and go to our landing page. These are our plans. We have 3 different plans. Technically, we have 4. Just as far as the portal goes, there's only 3, which is our bronze, our silver, and our gold. Our bronze is just to get it. It's not just. There's a lot in there. But once you get it, it gets you access to the tool, gets you access to the community, gets you access to the weekly calls, gets you access to the mobile app. If you want access to the self-guided but coach-provided courses, that's going to be in our silver plan. That also comes with 2 15-minute consultations a month with one of our coaches based on what you need. And then our gold plan has all of that stuff. Plus, it also has access to some in-person stuff and some other coaching. And then the last one, which is our platinum plan. I probably should have just left this on the screen. I apologize. Our platinum plan is our one-on-one coaching. So if you just feel like you need somebody to help you, you need accountability, there's a certain area that you need, the platinum plan is where you would get weekly calls with one of our coaches. Now, the benefit of the platinum plan, that's a little bit different than just say a single coach like myself or like Aaron, is while you are assigned a coach within the Heroes Veritas banner, you would get access to all of our coaches. So if you're a platinum member and say you transition, you're like, wow, we really crushed business this year. And I don't really need help with business anymore. Now it's just kind of maintenance, but my fitness took a hit. We can transition you over based on availability to say Gavin, who would then take over your one-on-one coaching from there. And so that's kind of the benefit, is you don't have to actually go and vet a whole new coach for the platinum plan. You actually could we'll take, and we've already vetted them for you, and you can take and make use of them. So getting into the actual app. So this is the web app version. There is also the mobile app. And so, so once I'm in, I'm going to go ahead and get into the Community Arbiter app. This is going to be the app from the admin side of the house. So there might be some things that look a little bit different than if you were, say, a bronze or a silver member, but in general, you can get a feel for what it looks like. Now, if you notice here, right off the bat on the left-hand side, this is going to be how we navigate. So this is how you're going to interact with the community at large. If you notice, there's this live icon right next to announcements. The reason for that is because this event is actually linked inside the portal, so that when we are live as a member, you would actually see when one of our team is live. If there's a live call going on, you will know right off the bat that there's a call going on. You can click into that and you're going to be able to connect with the events on that page. And as you can see, we have a lot of events planned for this year already. We have a lot more being planned every day now as members get added in. So we're right now here at the virtual party. As you can see, it's live, and you can actually click into that event, which will give you the ability to join using this link here. So all of our virtual events are going to be in here. And so as a member, you would get the benefit of anything we do at no additional cost. All of our members, as they come in, are going to go through the welcome kit. There's a welcome video from myself as the host and CEO. And then there's a checklist, which you don't see right now because I'm on my admin side, but there'll be a checklist to help you get started as fast as possible. It'll have things like update your profile, set up your notifications, download the app, so on and so forth. A lot of the just kind of the learning pieces to get you started as fast as possible to get the most benefit out of the community. Weekly call recordings. So our weekly calls are actually saved here in the portal. And so even if you aren't able to catch the live call, which happens every week on a rotating topic based on the pillars, you can always come back and watch them again. Also, once you're in there, this actually has its own system for marking that you've watched it. So say you're like, I want to go back and watch all of last year's. Well, then you can go back here and you can know which ones you left off on and actually say, okay, this is where we're going to go. You're not going to have all of this other stuff that you see in here, unlocking and all that stuff. That's all my admin side of the house. But this is one of those benefits. Now we segment all of our conversations based on the pillars. These are our topics. So under the pillars, members will get the opportunity to connect with each other based on those pillars. So inside our faith pillar, you can see there's a lot of conversations that are happening right now. If I change this to a feed view, you actually can look at it similar to like an Instagram or Facebook, which is something we're very intuitively used to at this point. So as you can tell, Deborah's been our main poster in here. As I mentioned, she's really great at the family side of the house. She's got a lot of posts in faith, got a lot of posts in family. In fitness, we have a lot of stuff from Gavin. He actually just put a course in earlier this week that our silver members can get access to, which is great. And this is just a place where we can empower each other to celebrate our wins, celebrate what we believe in, and ask questions if you need help. Say in business, in finance, I put a couple articles in finance here around business, like how do you build a company that lasts? What 3 things do you need to start a business? So if you've ever had that idea, you can come right in here and you can actually look at those and get those learnings right off the gate. We also add one that's it's outside of our pillars. But as my old mentor used to say, there's no recreation, or there's no creation without recreation. And so we have a fun category. So this is where you can celebrate your wins. This is where you can share some funny jokes, funny conversations. Now, the big thing that I would note about this entire space is this is a place for you to be authentic without judgment. And so you're going to see some things that maybe don't sit well with you. Maybe it does make you a little upset, or maybe you feel uncomfortable or something like that. I would challenge anybody that feels those things to sit with them and understand why they feel uncomfortable, maybe why they are upset by it, and ask questions and engage. As long as you're respectful, nobody in this community is going to get upset with you for connecting with each other about those questions. All right. So again, I really hope I know I rushed through this. There's a lot here. And once you become a member, it can be a little overwhelming, as most of our members have already said. But we do our best to make this as intuitive as possible and follow very much the mechanisms of social media that we know today. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Erin. I'm really excited to hear what she has to say and the quality that I know she's going to bring to the table. So I'm going to hand that off to her. And as soon as I figure out how to unmute her, and then I'll let the floor be yours.
All right.
All right. There we go.
Do you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, for everyone who doesn't know who I am, my name is Erin Montoya, and I'm an intuitive mindset and confidence coach. And I specialize in helping mainly women just align with their confidence and enjoying the journey of, embodying, becoming their highest self. That's kind of in a nutshell what I do. And I'm really excited because I have like 3, I guess, my own pillars or tips, or I call them like life hacks, if you will, that are things that I value most, that I practice myself, and that I also coach my clients on. So number 1 for me is gratitude. I talk a lot about gratitude because I feel like it's like literal magic. Finding gratitude every day and making it like almost like a ritualistic practice it fixes everything. In my opinion, it's kind of like the Band-Aid for life. If you can find gratitude, it fixes your mindset. If you're in a rut, you have a shitty mindset, you are in a slump, you're trying to manifest things, whatever it is, finding gratitude is going to get you there. And it's a practice you have to do every single day. You can't just do it sometimes. What I like to do, there's a couple things I like to do is I actually set an alarm on my phone to go off multiple times a day. And when that alarm goes off, I know what it's for. I know it's my gratitude alarm. So when it goes off, I'm like, okay, stop what I'm doing, be present in the moment. Even if that's like I'm doing dishes, no one likes doing dishes, but even like in that moment, I find gratitude in doing dishes. I'm like, I am so grateful that I'm able to do dishes right now. That means that I made like an awesome meal for my family. I have dishes to be able to wash. I have hands to be able to wash them. I'm grateful for that. Finding gratitude sometimes in the shitty things, the things that we don't like, it switches that mindset and it sends you into a higher frequency. Or even though, waking up in the morning and finding gratitude, like, hey, I woke up. I'm so grateful that I woke up today and I had a great night's sleep. Or even if I got Tim, I got like 3 hours of sleep. Hey, I'm grateful I got those 3 hours of sleep. Sorry to call you out. So yeah, it changes your energy and your vibration and your frequency, and it changes your mindset, especially if it's something that you practice every single day. So I recommend setting alarms on your phone if you're not used to doing this. And it really makes a huge impact. Another thing that I like to do is I actually have a separate journal. It is called my gratitude journal. And every night before I go to bed, I sit down, I write 10 or more things, usually more things that I'm grateful for that happened that day. And it could be even like mundane as, like I said, I woke up, or I had an awesome morning, I had an awesome breakfast this morning, or whatever. Writing down those 10 things and making it a mental note of what you're grateful for, again, changes your frequency, changes your vibration. So when you're drifting off to sleep, you get a more joyous, peaceful sleep. I swear to God, it works. Trust me. Number two for me, and this one's going to sting a little for people, but I think and obviously it's one of your guys, it's your number one, is taking radical responsibility. If you are not happy with the life that you have, or if you are not happy with where you're at in your life, whether it be like your fitness, your finances, your relationships, your whatever, that is entirely on you. Hate to say it. You got to take radical responsibility. There is no room for excuses when you're taking responsibility for your actions, and not just your actions, but your responses. And the biggest one I want to like hone in on, because I am a confidence coach, is taking radical responsibility for your thoughts. We do have control over that. Maybe not like the subconscious thoughts, but if you have like intrusive negative thoughts, or you have like shitty, mindset or self-talk, what I coach my clients on, and what I want you to do is that next time you have an intrusive thought, like I'm fat, I want you to walk over to a mirror and I want you to say 3 nice things about yourself. And it doesn't have to be about your appearance, but it can even be about like your living situation. Like you hate your house or your car or your relationship, whatever it is. Take time to stop and be like, okay, well, what am I doing to fix this? How am I responsible for this? Because when you take radical responsibility for the life that you're living, everything changes. So yeah, taking radical responsibility. That's probably like, it's the hardest one to swallow, but it's one of the biggest ones to swallow. And number 3, worry about your own happiness and your own opinion about yourself. Your happiness and your opinions about you are the only truth. You can't rely on other people to make you happy. You can't rely on other people's opinions about you to be the truth. If you did that, you're going to be really disappointed when those people end up disappearing. You got to get really comfortable with loving yourself, finding your own happiness, whatever that may look like. Date yourself, get to know yourself, sit down and find out what makes me happy. When you can get really comfortable with what makes you happy and like not giving a fuck what anyone else thinks, and only like worried about your own opinion of yourself, again, your mindset and everything will change. So, if it's something like, I'll use the gym, for example, like you want to change your body, and maybe like, you're overweight and you're someone who has never set foot in the gym. Don't go looking for other people's opinions and other people's advice on like, oh, should I go? Or like, what workout program should I do? Just do what intuitively feels right. I mean, yes, like, if you want to ask the experts, obviously we have some, but don't listen to like, the negative Nancy's of your life. Their opinions are not valid. They're not truth. Do what makes you happy. If you like to dance, have dance parties in your kitchen. We do that. If you want to take art classes, it doesn't matter. Whatever makes you happy, you have to focus on that. You have to live in joy and gratitude. You have to take radical responsibility for your own happiness and your own opinions of yourself. So to kind of recap, my biggest like core life hacks, if you will, are finding gratitude every single day and making it a practice, making it a ritualistic practice, taking radical responsibility for everything in your life, your thoughts, your actions, your responses to things, and your happiness and opinions are the only one that matters. So focus on those and not other people's. I'm really, really excited to be a part of Heroes Veritas. It's seriously such an incredible community. When he showed me the app, I was like literally brought to tears because I was so impressed, and I was like, this is epic. Like, this is exactly what the world needs. we need more people that are world changers, that are wanting to make that paradigm shift for people, and wanting to be a community of individuals that are going to help other individuals become their better self, their higher self. So I love that. I'm so excited to be a part of it. Everyone is so gracious and welcoming, and there's such good nuggets, and it's awesome. So and a lot of the reason why I joined is because, well, I mean, I'm gonna kind of make Tim a little uncomfortable, but like, he's a lot of the reason why I am the person that I am today. He has been a coach of mine, and he's helped me along my coaching journey become the person that I am. And, when he initially wanted to create Heroes Veritas, I was like, all right, let's go. And it's watching it unfold and becoming this evolutionary, it's an idea to where it is now. It's just been so amazing. And I am honored, and I am excited, and I just can't believe this is the kickoff and it's here, and we're finally doing it. I'm so stoked. So lastly, I want to leave you guys with is, you guys are you guys are beacons of life. Don't let your light dim for anyone. Let that shit shine. And the people that are meant for you are going to come to you. And the people that aren't, then shine your light even brighter and blind the crap out of them. So anyways, thank you guys. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Erin. And this, you're right. You did embarrass me a little bit by telling me that I helped you, because you know how I am. I'm very internalized when it comes to that stuff. But your tips are absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. And it's an area that I want to make clear here. Like, Erin struggled with these same issues. So it's not that this is something that you wake up one day and you're like, oh, I'm a confidence coach. And I have had confidence since I was born. I've met people like that. And if I'm being honest, a lot of times they just lack self-awareness. It's not really that they have confidence. Erin is one of those individuals who has gone through the struggles, myself included. I was over 300 pounds. I had to find confidence. And so it's not, when Erin is saying these things, and she's speaking from experience. And that's the beauty of a community like ours, and why we're building it, is because we're not a bunch of people sitting on a platitude and at the pulpit preaching at you like, you need to do these things. This is how this works. And I have no idea what it's like, right? What is the number one people tell you when you give advice? You just don't understand. It is the number one response. And the reality is, we do very much understand. Every single person on my team, every single person that I've seen in this community has a story. Every single one of us has had a story. And the beauty is that the reason we're all heroes is because we're on our hero's journey, and we've adopted new principles, new learnings, and new communities to, as Erin said, align to an area that we're celebrated, not tolerated. And that's a big problem for a lot of us, is we believe that it's okay to sit in a space where we're just tolerated. To use her example, dancing. If I like to dance and everybody around me makes fun of me for dancing, I'm not in the right space, because I'm being tolerated and I'm being shunned for me being authentically me. And so this whole space is really to challenge people, whether they like us or not, whether they enjoy our community or not, whether they're ready for us or not. That's not for us to decide. We're there to shine our light. Erin, being the beacon that she is, said it best: shine your light and blind them. And that's what we do here at Heroes. We show up, and we show up for you, and we show up for each other. And for those that don't feel comfortable there, 9 times out of 10, it's because they're not ready. It's not that they don't belong. It's just that they're not ready yet. They haven't reached the level to where they can be self-aware. Erin, before I let you off the hook here, I did have a question.
Okay.
So one of the things you said was that it's not your responsibility, it's to give other people's opinions about your truth. How do you answer the age-old question that we all go through, and we've all gone through it, of imposter syndrome and auditing that thought when your opinion of yourself is really low, and so you're looking for that external validation? How do you solve for that?
So for me, I mean, a lot of it starts with like the personal, I call it dating yourself. Really getting to know yourself. And a lot of it is sometimes healing old traumas and doing that shadow work, going deep, really getting uncomfortable, and figuring out, okay, well, I'm here. How did I get here? And this is where I want to be. So again, like I say, like dating yourself and asking yourself the hard questions and kind of unraveling that and allowing yourself space to heal from that, from the traumas and whatnot, so that you can become the person that you want to be, your higher self. If you're, yes, a lot of people look, especially in a social media world, it's really hard because we just scroll and we see like these beautiful people, and we want what they have, and a lot of it is going to be with finding your own self-worth, and that's where gratitude comes in to play. um Writing down that gratitude list, and if it's something like, if you do struggle with your own self-love at night, like finding things that you're grateful for yourself, because we're put on this earth for to make fucking magic. Like, we're here to like stir shit up and be world changers. And if you don't think that about yourself, then I challenge you to dig deep and to ask yourself like the hard questions. And that's a lot of the reason why myself as a coach and Tim as a coach, like we're here to offer the guidance and like the questions that you maybe have never asked yourself. But yeah, a lot of it is going to have to be getting really uncomfortable and healing those things in order to become the person that you want to be. Hopefully that answered your question.
Very much. And I think it's very poignant that your top has Stardust on it, because to your point, we're all Stardust, right?
And your hat.
And your hat, yeah. And it's the science behind it, right? And I'm getting a little toasty, and my pre-workout's finally kicking in, so I'm getting a little energetic here. Of course, it waits till the end of the call. But every component that makes up a human is Stardust. It came from exploding stars. And so to your point, everybody is here to be great and be world changers, just whether or not you want to step up and accept that responsibility, because it's a responsibility. And people like Aaron and myself and Tish and Matt and Deborah and Gavin, we all have a call to help others, to say, our greatness shines best when we help others be great. And that's what Heroes Veritas is all about. That's what our community is about. It's not about platforming ourselves as better, but rather we're farther down the path. And so we know that the turns. So walk with us a while and let's help you get to where you want to go on that same path. And so I'm very grateful to you, Aaron, on a number of levels. I've been friends with almost every single person on this team for a while. And so there's a bond and a trust with everybody that is in Heroes that is something that I'm very grateful for. And so before I open it up to questions, I just want to let you all know you are my community. And so when I struggle with that self-doubt, when I struggle with those things, which we all do, imposter syndrome happens at the highest levels of competitive people down to the lowest rungs. It's who you surround yourself with that reaffirm whether or not you're going to be celebrated or tolerated. And our community is all about celebrating each other, allowing us the opportunity to be sovereign in our own choices. We don't force anybody down a path. We merely show them different ideas or different pathways or different turns. And we celebrate whether or not they turn that way or not. And we just want the best for each other. And so thank you so much, Aaron, for sharing those tips, because they're absolutely true. And, personally and selfishly, they align with our core values. So of course I love them. So thank you, everybody that has joined. Are there any questions, either for myself or for Aaron or for anybody on the team really, that we've gotten in the chat at all? I don't know if I can't really see it. Here, I'm going to unmute Tish. Tish can let me know. Technical issues. That's good.
Are you there?
I'm here. Hey. Let's get everybody unmute. Let's have a party. Let's have fun.
Yeah, just unmute everybody.
I'm just gonna unmute everybody. I've been drinking. It's fine.
Right? Absolutely.
All the rigor's gone, so might as well have fun.
Might as well have fun. Yeah. So, Aaron, that was really great to hear from you. I did like the piece about the gratitude journal every night. Like, it sets yourself in an intention to have a more restful night of sleep, when you can appreciate what you've accomplished for the day. And for some people, some basic life tasks, like I got out of bed today, because they're super depressed. And so that's a huge thing to be grateful for. Like I got
Mhm.
out of bed and now I'm going back into bed, but I'm going to do it with the appreciation I made it out of bed for X amount of time. So great tip on that one. And I liked the piece too that you said on um, stopping in front of the mirror, like negative self-talk.
Yeah.
Uh, we all have negative self-talk. And so having that moment of like, okay, here's a negative piece, like whether you're do it in your phone, whether you're sitting in your car and you've got your little mirror above your head, whether you got some mirror somewhere or TV that's turned off and so it's a black screen, and just stop and be like, you got this, right? And
Yeah.
reprogram that positive talk to yourself, because that's huge. Like I know personally, like I can run myself down a pretty deep spiral of just like, because I'm a Gemini, right? So there's like, well, we're good. Well, no, not really, and then we just go round and round and round until, one of us loses.
Yeah.
And so good tips there. I really appreciate that. So thank you
Thank you.
for taking the time to be with us today. It's awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. On a side note too, for anybody else, like we will have a gathering in person for anybody who's in the local area. Erin is going to be at that as well. So if you want some more, FaceTime with Erin in person, that'll be a community gathering for anybody on the 21st of January. So definitely come out to that. That's a free event just to kind of shoot the shit and have a good time. And if we're lucky, they might be right at the snow level. We might be able to scoop up enough to create a snowball and maybe throw it at Tim, or I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever.
I like how I'm the
Um,
target.
right.
I
Well,
think
I would
we
have
will.
said Matt, but then Matt throws, he's pretty hard. He's got a hard throw. So I would definitely be in the target with taking one of those. And so, but yeah, so anybody who's available for that too, that would be awesome. You get some more time with Erin.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm glad that was one of the things that is, just to take from that is it's really cool to see the community do things organically, right? Like I, as Tim Bass, the host and guy that kind of like stewarded this whole thing to where it is today with the team, and now just kind of like put it into the world. And you guys are like, well, I want to spend more time together, so I'm just going to go over here and create this thing. That's one thing I didn't talk about in the portal is like you could literally find people in your area if you share your location inside the portal. And so it creates this very unique opportunity to make these live events wherever you are. So as you connect with members within the portal, maybe everybody's in Arizona, maybe everybody's in, Utah or whatever. And you can literally set up meetups to where you guys can go and strategize together and spend time together and break bread together and really develop a community, which is for us what we care most about, which is why we want to have the ranch in person. Because if we're honest, like we're on a video right now, I love all of you, you guys are great, but I would have much rather liked to hug you all, right? And really cheers rather than, hey, congratulations, we did this thing. Like it would have been it would be a lot better in my opinion if I could spend the time with you, because there's an energy in person that you don't get over the camera. And so that opportunity to connect and see you guys build that, and it's been nice to just kind of be like, hey, you guys connect and tell me what happens and I'll show up, and I'll, I don't have to build it or, whatever. So that's been really cool. And I really appreciate you guys taking that initiative.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I think we will have snow because or ice.
Ice, yeah.
Maybe I'll drive up the day before.
Right. I know I'm trying to talk to, because there's a pool and I was talking to Tim about this. So you said earlier, like seasonal depression. I don't know what you were talking about exactly the part, but like how to, for me, I normally get seasonal depression and I do ice baths almost every day. And I was saying like it'd be really cool to do like a polar bear plunge into the pool they have there. But
I'm in. I'm in, Erin, 100%. Yeah.
What if they don't? I mean, what are they going to do? Kick us out? We'll just do it at the end. It'll be fine.
Right?
Whatever.
Listen,
hop-
our community is more about forgiveness than permission. I'm just saying,
Absolutely.
you're definitely more of the rebel side, the outlaw side of the house. So if you can get access to it, I'm down to do the polar plunge regardless.
Right.
Yeah,
I would be
and
concerned if Matt shows up. Matt's polar plunge may be a little exposed.
Yeah,
But
that's kind of, I don't get in the water anymore.
okay. All
He's
right.
so tall, he wouldn't be able to fit in the pool anyway. It's fine.
Yeah. He'd jump in and just be standing like, damn it. So
it's okay as long as it's like the neck down, then you're good. Then you're getting the benefits from it.
yeah.
That's one thing, I think you should write something in the portal, Aaron, about the benefits that you've gotten. You don't have to get all scientific about it. You just talk about your experience.
Yeah.
I know that's really popular right now as a polar plunge, and I don't think a lot of people understand what happens, and I'm all blurry again for whatever reason.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and it's definitely, again, it all ties back to mindset, which is, if you can get control of your mind and calm the mind, calm the body, and then that ripples into like the benefits that you can get from it. But it's a pretty amazing thing, and I mean, I've had. Katie was on here and she did it last year with me. And I've had friends who were like, hell no, I'm not doing that. But it's, for me, it's like, I mean, I guess there are benefits for it, like health benefits. And but for me, it's like, I like to push myself. I like, that's like the masculine side of me that comes out. I'm just like, all right, let's fucking go 15 minutes. Like it's like 30 degrees. I'm like, let's do this. So I like pushing myself. I like to see how far I can go. So I love it.
Do you ease in or do you jump in, Aaron?
Well, so I have a horse trough. I mean, I'm 5'9", I'm a girl. So I have a huge horse trough, and it's full right now, and it's probably 35, 40 degrees. I didn't do it today, which I should have because it was sunny. But I just get in pretty I don't know, kind of slow, but I get in, I get comfortable, and I once I'm there, I don't move. The key is to not move, because if you move, even the subtle movements, that's what hurts. Because when you move, you go numb. So then you don't feel anything, and then you just want to breathe through it. I've coached people on how to do it, because you have to, if you get in and you freak out, that's going to skyrocket your adrenaline, then your cortisol, it's not good. You want to get in and you want to remain calm and just chill. So getting in slowly, if that's okay, I like to get in at a normal pace, but some people just hop in, but I don't know. It's all up to you. It's whatever you can handle. So
the benefit of the polar plunge is you can guarantee the rest of your day won't get any worse.
It increases dopamine levels. So you'll be in a fucking great mood for the rest of the day. And I'm sorry, whatever. I cuss a lot, but
don't be sorry. That's what we're about.
I'm very professional. Tim knows I'm a total potty mouth. But yeah,
you're alone in that. I'm the worst potty mouth. I'm usually getting in trouble for it.
I know. But yeah, it increases your dopamine levels. So that's why I especially do it during the winter time. I don't really do it that much during the summertime because vitamin D. But there's no vitamin D really, other than supplements that you can get from. So yeah, it increases that dopamine, and it's awesome.
Make it happen.
Sounds like
we're
do that on a daily, Aaron?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't do it today though, because I just I wanted to because I said Mercury's in the microwave. Mercury's in retrograde again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a full moon. And I'm just I really wanted to kind of get my energy right to talk tonight. So I was I'm just not because that gets me going, and then I don't want to have a crash. I could have done it an hour before we got started, and I would have been fine, but it's whatever. I was feeling good. But yeah, I do it pretty much every single day. So
nice.
Even
Next
if we don't,
call, you should do it from the cold tub.
Huh?
Next call, you should just do that from the cold tub.
You don't want to do it more than 15 minutes. It's the max. I mean, it depends on the stuff, but yeah, I can do it for you guys.
Hey, do a post while you're in there. Put it on the portal. Do a post.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I could definitely do that. I know I haven't got my husband to do it yet.
Don't mind.
Tony hasn't done it?
I'm in 30-degree weather.
Nope.
Check the temperature of the water and give him a little push.
Yeah. You guys know my husband. He's he is like master of his mind almost. Like I don't know how he like Tim and Tony are like my life coaches. Like they're like, and I don't know why. I'm like, bro, like get in the water. Like how have you not done this yet? I don't get it.
Because we're masters already. Like that's the thing. Like for me, like the priority of getting in cold water is not there. It's just an extra task before I get to work. Right.
Yeah.
Like I wake up and I'm ready to work. Like I don't need a morning routine. So like one of the things that I've seen a lot of, especially in the entrepreneurial space, is like, all right, you need 15 minutes of an ice bath, then you need to meditate, then you need a gratitude journal, and you need to. That's just an hour that I didn't work. So like for me, I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, oh good, I get another sunrise, gratitude done, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now I'm working Heroes. So all the other stuff is just fluff for me. And I think Tony's the same way. Like, it's just very much like, yeah, I definitely could. Like getting in cold water doesn't scare me or worry me or anything.
Yeah.
Like, but it's more like a show off thing, not yours, obviously, but for guys, especially. There's this big push in society today that it's like, I need to do this physically traumatic thing or struggling do this physically so that I can validate not changing anything else. Right? Like I'm gonna go do a Spartan race, but I'm not gonna change anything else. I'm gonna go and do, this really hard physical activity. It's like, okay, but what did you gain from it? Did you become more confident, or did you just mask it with this event or this thing?
Yeah.
And you'll just wait another year to do that again. And again, different reasons people do things. So that wasn't me just being dismissive of what it does for you, but is in general, in the male space, it's more just like masculine virtue signaling. Well, I can deal with cold water. It's like, cool, bro. Like, that's great. I'm glad that works for you. But for me, I'd rather just get to work and start helping my team rather than, sitting in cold water and going, I'm the master of my mind. I'm the master of my mind.
I have ADHD and I am not a morning person. So for me, it's like, that's what gets me going. That's my coffee.
But then you have coffee, right?
Decaf.
Oh, well.
Ooh.
I'm impressed.
Honestly,
I'm impressed because I lived with you guys for a while and coffee was a mainstay for us.
I mean, I drink decaf, yeah. Like I want the flavor, but I'm really careful not to burn out my adrenals.
Yeah. Not me. Mine are gone. I sleep 3 hours a night and then pour a bunch of intravenous coffee and pre-workout in and then go work out for a long time. Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Gavin's probably like,
probably.
If 2 scoops are good, 4 scoops are better.
Right?
I'm a heart attack. It was a good leg day.
Yeah, right?
Nobody died.
Nobody died.
It wasn't productive enough if nobody died.
Right? You can put more weight on the bar if you didn't die.
That's
did
true.
you die?
That's true. Well, thank you everyone for being here. We're 4 minutes over. You guys can hang out and feel free to hang out. But this has been a very, talk about gratitude. This has been a very grateful moment for me because this is a big push for where we're going with Heroes. And again, I keep mentioning it. It's our goal is the ranch, which is 600 acres of a facility where we get to go and hang out and play and bring people along with us. And that's really what we're trying to get to. And this is just a virtual arm of that. And so I'm really grateful for everybody that's joined. I think we outlasted everybody that was on the call. Yep. So it's
I am curious if like people maybe trying to get on and then they weren't able to get on. Like, or did you see anyone trying to get on?
Katie was the only one that I saw get on.
Okay. I have like a bunch of messages, so I don't know. I mean, maybe we'll see. But is the live going to be available or is this going to be available to the public afterwards or just to the portal?
Yeah, I'll probably put it somewhere on the
entire note.
Yeah, I'll probably put it somewhere on the website. Not behind the pay gate, like actually like on the website.
There you go. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming. Aaron, thank you so much for speaking. You actually sparked a couple things that I'd forgotten about that I need to go back and take a look at in my life. So thank you very much. And all of you, thank you. I appreciate you coming.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
And for those
Thank you,
local,
Tim.
I'll see you on the
Yeah, thank you,
21st.
Matt. Yeah, absolutely. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
So,
Or at least Tish and I are gonna have fun.
Right? I was gonna say, and you guys can certainly fly in. Like, we'll put you up somewhere. We'll find
Yeah.
a
Record
place.
it, Tish. Record it.
So,
Record some of
Tish,
it.
Yeah. Yes.
Tish, where is this meeting going to be? This gathering?
Aaron, I was waiting on you for the address actually.
Oh,
So
I don't have. I'll give you the address. I know I saw your message right before this started.
yeah.
So I live in Murphy's, California, Northern California. It's gonna be at Forest Meadows. Their clubhouse, their pool, like a pool clubhouse kind of thing.
it's about 2 hours from us, Deborah.
Okay.
I don't know where everyone's at. I know where Tish and Tim are at, but I don't know where everyone else is at.
Deborah's by us.
Okay. Everyone
And
lives.
Matt, it's like a 12-hour drive for you, so hope to see you.
No, some of us
No,
live in the devil's nutsack. I live in
You should
Phoenix.
refer to your house like that.
Hey, it's better than the devil's ass crack over in North Carolina.
Right.
You moved out of there. You might have a little PTSD left over, but you're getting better.
Right.
A little.
Are you settled in Texas now, Gavin?
Yep. You've been here for a little over a week now.
Sweet. Awesome.
Very cool.
Good job. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
I literally texted
Thank y'all.
Matt and Tish right before this call and just said I hate this state
Yeah, right.
with some explicit verbiage. But
Yeah.
I was trying to order some stuff, and I tried to order like 2 things today that I needed or that I wanted. I guess I don't need it, but I wanted it. And they both said we can't deliver to the state, and I was like, I need that ranch. I need a
I need the ranch.
You want to talk about personal sovereignty? I can't even order things that I want.
Right.
That drives
There
me.
you go.
California. Anyway, thanks for everybody for coming.
All right, have another drink, Tim.
If anything, what
Yeah,
you did
Tim.
with me as a coach is authentic. I will never lie.
Right.
I will
Right.
always tell you the truth.
There you go.
And he gets more truthful the deeper in the bottle.
Nope. I get louder, but not more truthful. I get louder. And the Irish
Louder.
accent tends to come out. But
Yeah. Right.
generally speaking, I'm just louder.
Nice.
So thank you all. I really appreciate
you.
it. Have a
Thank you.
great night, and we'll talk inside the portal.
Okay.
See y'all later.
You.
Alrighty.
See ya.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.
Your spirit.